Okay, so how can we change a conversation to make it more productive, to make it more useful? So we're going to discuss that, and coaching is a great way to do that. So first of all, we're going to cover what is coaching. What is coaching? The second one, we're going to cover what are powerful questioning. Powerful questioning is a cornerstone of coaching. Then we'll discuss about the GROW model. We will do an exercise, a self-coaching exercise. We will let you know after that how to structure a coaching session. And then we will give you some tips and techniques to avoid being stuck, or to, if you're stuck, to get unstuck. So let's start with coaching. What is coaching? So most of you might know this amazing visual chart from the Neuro Leadership Institute. It's very visual because this is the best way to remember things. So what is coaching? Coaching is really about asking and is really focused on solution. Coaching is not about telling, like mentoring and consulting, and it's not focused on problems. Consulting, for instance, is really focused, okay, there's a problem, I'm going to give you a solution. Counseling is mainly focused on the past. Coaching is mainly focused on the future. So this is a great way to understand what coaching is and what coaching is not. Now, let's see this picture. Who do you think is the coach here? Is it the man driving or is it the lady? Well, this is the lady. In a coaching conversation, the person who's driving, who's finding solution, is the coachee, not the coach. Okay? It's very important that you visualize and that you remember this. You, as a coach, are not the driver. Now, let's talk about what is the secret of a meaningful coaching conversation. First and foremost, it's about listening, active listening. But why is it so important to actively listen? It's so important because it helps you, it gives you access to the best questions. It helps you ask powerful questions. Because it's not the answer that enlightens, but the question. And in a coaching conversation, as a coach, as a manager, as a spouse, with your friend, whoever you want to discuss, you will help them by asking the right question at the right moment. Okay, so we're going to discuss about powerful questions. What are powerful questions? So, Lily, you want to?
Yes, so it's quite important, as we say, like powerful questioning is like your superpower as a person in general, like in any relationship, as a coach, as a manager. So this superpower, make sure you have almost like your cheat sheets of powerful questions. So take a paper and a pen, and you write those powerful questions that you personally like. We're going to go through a lot of questions, a lot of samples that you can use or not. But make sure you write the one that you like, that resonate with you.
Yeah. Okay, and this is the best tool you will ever have. Whether you start as a coach or whether you're an experienced coach, this is really important to have your own set of powerful questions. Okay, so what are powerful questions? So let me give you an overview of what is a powerful question. So first of all, a powerful question reflects listening. You will ask a great question if you listen actively. So it has to be related to what the other person say. So you can say, oh, I understand that you're saying that, that, and that. So what do you think you can do? It reflects listening. The second point, it evokes discovery, okay? It will help your coachee to discover new possibilities. It can also help your coachee be clearer on what he wants to achieve. It's a great way to learn as well. It will also, powerful questions can also help your coachee increase their commitment to do certain things, to reach their objectives. It will, a great powerful question can also help you shift perspectives, help you see from a different angles a reality, your own reality, or the perception of the reality. A powerful question helps you find new possibilities and create the future you want. Okay? This is an overview of powerful questioning. Okay, next. Rose cannot see the slide.
Yes, we can see. Yeah.
Now, what are the powerful questions? The most powerful questions start with how. How do you want to move forward? Then you can use the what. What are your strengths? What motivates you? You can also ask when and where, but it's a bit more specific. And some questions that start with which or yes, no are less powerful. Don't worry, I'm going to give you lots of examples. But before I give you some example, we'll do a little quiz. So can you please grab a paper and a pen, and you're going to answer yes or no on your paper. So first questions. What would you like to achieve? Is it a powerful question? Yes or no? Yes, of course. It's an easy one to start. What does success look like? Yes, no. One of the most powerful one of my favorite one. Now, are you happy with the results? Powerful or no? It is not. Why? Because you will only answer, yes, I'm happy with the results. You can ask, what would make you happy? Or how happy are you? Okay, now, can your team become more innovative? Definitely not. It's very leading. It's a leading question. Can you tell me more? Is it a powerful question? Okay, that's a tricky one. I put yo, this is yes, no, why? Because technically you answer yes or no, but of course it's very powerful to ask, tell me more. Okay? Why did you do that? Powerful, yes or no? Write it down. No, it's not. Why? Because it can create a defensive reaction. It can force your coachee to justify himself about what he did. So you don't want to ask this kind of questions. Now, what strength can you leverage to reach your goals? Yes, very powerful. Now, what could you do to have more satisfaction in this area? Very open, very powerful. Okay, what could stop you to make it work? Yes, no? Yes, very powerful. The objective is to uncover obstacles. Who could help you to make it work? Yes, no? Yes, very powerful. And it can increase your coach's accountability, and yeah, it's a great way. Okay, what else? Very powerful, one of my favorite ones. So what are powerful questions? This is a sample of great powerful questions. Those are amazing. We won't go through all of them, obviously, because we don't have time today, but there's different types of powerful questions. So discovery, so where do you want to make a difference in life? What do you value most in your relationship with others? This one is very powerful. You might want to use explorating questions. What other angles can you think of? Elaboration. What else? Clarification. What do you mean? Specific, especially if your coach is giving you is talking in generalization, ask them to share examples. It's very important. And past, you can look at the past. Coaching is mainly focused on the future, but sometimes you can look at the past as well. Okay, so now during a coaching conversation, we strongly encourage you to use at least 80% of the time powerful questions. But sometimes you need more information. So you can ask 20% of informational question. Okay? A powerful question usually has less than 7 words. When it's too long, your coachee might get lost and it's less powerful, but it might be leading. So what else? What do you want to achieve? Where are you now? Very simple. Keep it simple. Less is more, and it works in this case. Okay, now there's another statistic saying 80% of the questions are for the coachee and 20% for the coach, meaning when you ask 20% of the time, you need more information to better understand the situation of your coachee, but it's only 20% of the question. The rest of the question are for your coachees. There's gift to your coachee. They will help your coachee explore more, learn more, okay? It's not for you to understand the situation, it's for your coachee to understand his own situation, okay? Now, let's do a little exercise. You can take your paper, your pen, and how would you transform this question? How much exercise do you need each week is not very powerful. What can you ask instead? Can you think about a different way? It can be what being fit look like for you. Okay, it's much wider. Now, is this an effective strategy for you? This is a yes/no question, so not very powerful. So what else can you ask? Think about it. Any idea? What makes this an effective strategy for you? Okay, can you see the difference? How you shift, how your mind shifts, and it opens much more possibilities. Now, have you thought about breaking down the task? Very leading, you have the solution. There's a solution in the question, so it's not powerful. What else can you do? Much more powerful, right? Now, why did you decide to move to Berlin? It can be felt as judgmental. It's more like, what are you moving toward? Much more open, much more possibility. Okay, so when you ask questions, make sure they are expansive and they don't restrict your coach's possibilities. And you don't want closed or leading questions. And when you start as a coach, you will realize that most of the time you will ask leading questions because we are used to share our views, share our perspectives through questions. And sometimes questions are not questions, it's just advice. So avoid that, try to avoid that. It takes time, it takes practice, but if you practice enough, you will manage to change that. Okay, now, I hope it's clear. It's important to be curious. Asking powerful questions for the sake of asking powerful questions it's not useful. You need to be genuinely curious about your coachee. You really want to learn more about your coachee, to help your coachee. So be very curious. It has to come from your heart. Okay?
And also the power of silence. So it's quite important because we're always very scared of silence and we don't understand the power it has. And if a coachee is thinking, that's a gift he's giving to you, you know, it's like thinking. So let the coachee think and something gonna arise from that silence. So don't be scared of silence.
Yes, and practice silence as well. I mean, naturally, I don't like silence, but the more I practice, the more I find it so useful with my coaches. Now that you have managed to have a great coaching conversation, you know how to use powerful questions, that's amazing. But you realize that sometimes during a coaching conversation, it's all over the place. You ask lots of powerful questions, but it goes everywhere. It's like a big brainstorming, ideation, discussion. So you don't know, you're a bit lost as a coach. It's all over the place, right? And at the same time, you know, you don't want to be too leading and you don't want to impose a structure. So this is some tension I had when I started. And that's okay. And actually, we will help you resolve this issue with a great model, the GROW model. It will help you structure a coaching conversation, but still give space for your coachee to find his own solution. So let's talk about the GROW model. So let's go on a journey. I want you to take your phone. Yes, you're hearing me. Take your phone. Okay, you're gonna take your phone and you will open your Gojek if you do have Gojek, for instance. So Gojek.
Gojek, Grab, or any taxi app. Huh?
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go on a journey together. So where do you guys want to go? For me, I'm a bit stressed. Maybe I want to go to the Botanic Gardens. So this is my goal. Okay, so this is the first thing you ask, right? The first thing is, where do you want to go? You have to enter the destination. So I will write Botanic Garden because this is where I want to relax. Okay, fine. Then what do I need to do? I need to to confirm where I am. So this is, I'm at home, I'm close to Tanglin, this is where I live, this is my place, this is my reality, this is where I am. Okay, so next, what are my options? So I can take a ride, I can share a cab, or maybe I can just decide to walk, right? So those are the options, all right? And then I will press, or maybe I won't press, but this is my way forward. What I decide to do is to press if I want to take a taxi, or maybe not press if I want to walk, okay? Those are my options, my way, what I decide to do. And the GROW model is exactly the same. During a coaching conversation, first and foremost, you will ask your coachee where they want to go, what are their goals, okay? Then you will ask them about their reality, where they are now, okay? Then the third step, the O, is the options. So what are your options? Do you want to take a taxi? Do you want to walk? Or maybe you want to stay, right? Because it's not so bad actually to be at home. That's another option. You have to stretch the possibilities. It's not all, the options are not the one you see all the first. There might be other options. And then the W, it's the way forward or the will, what you're gonna do, the action. And then you press the button, so goals, reality, options, and way forward. The fourth step is the way forward, your decision, okay? I love this analogy. I think it's very easy to remember. It makes lots of sense. And we love metaphors and analogy. As a coach, it's very important to use lots of metaphor and analogy. Why? Because it sticks. So this is a very easy explanation of the GROW model. Now, let me ask you, have you ever used the GROW model? Yes or no? No, yes, okay, interesting. All right. That's interesting. Let me share the results. That's kind of 50-50. Can you see the result? Okay, so that's interesting. So for those who have used the GROW model, you can try to pick new questions and see new ways of doing it. And for those who don't know about the GROW model, it's a great opportunity to learn. So this GROW model has been created by Sir John Whitmore in the late 80s. And since then, it's the most popular coaching model used in companies, corporate environment. It's a very good model that you can use as a manager. And it's used by coaches, but it's also used in any kind of conversation when you want to help someone solve their own problems. Okay, now we're gonna do a grow conversation with Lily, and we're gonna analyze the conversation step by step. Okay, are you guys ready? Try to listen for the questions for each of the stages. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. Lily, how are you? I'm the coach and Lily is the coachee.
Yes, and we're going to focus on the G first, huh? On the goal. Yes.
We're going to focus on the goal. So Lily, how are you today?
Well, yeah, I'm great, Geraldine. Thank you for asking. All good. Yes, thank you.
Great. So what is your goal?
I would like to be promoted.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So what is your target role?
I would like to be promoted as a team leader.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. That's an interesting goal, being promoted as a team leader. So when would you like to be promoted as a team leader?
Ideally, I would like it to be like in 2 years. So being promoted as a team leader in 2 years would seem like a good goal. Yeah.
All right, makes sense. And can you tell me what would success look like?
For me, I would say if in 2 years I can manage a team of 3 people on a challenging project.
Okay.
And be a bit more exposed to the international culture and overseas client, that would be great. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And how will you feel when you reach this goal?
I feel that I would have achieved a lot in managing others. It's quite important for me for 2 things. First, because it's helping other people grow around me, helping them grow. So I would have an impact on their growth, and also selfishly on my financial freedom, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a very important. It's close to your heart. This goal is close to your heart.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Yeah, sorry. Thank
you.
I would
say, yes, the financial freedom is very important for me. That's a huge anchor for me to be fine.
Now let me ask you a different question. So what do you want to achieve by the end of this conversation?
That's a good question. I think I would like to know how to get there. I'm a bit lost on that. So if we could think about that together, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay, that's a very achievable goal for this conversation. Thank you. So this is the grow, the G. So we're gonna stop, guys. We're gonna stop and just look at the G. So we covered the G part of the grow model. The G part focuses on what do you want or what do you really want, okay? So you want your coachee to define a very inspiring and compelling goal. It has to be more than just SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bounded. It has to be exciting. Why? Because the more exciting it is, the higher the motivation will be, okay? So that's the reason SMART, it's very important to make sure that the goal is SMART. That's the reason why I ask, what is your target role? When do you want to achieve it? It has to be precise, okay? Now, it has to be positively framed, obviously, and challenging enough. But you don't want to stretch, you want to stretch your coachee, but not too much at the same time. So you need to find the right balance, depending also on your coachee style. It can be a performance goal, a development goal. In this case, it's a professional development goal. It can be just a problem to solve or decision to make. It doesn't have to be a big, big goal, right? It can be just, oh, I have a discussion tonight and I don't know, it will be a difficult decision. I don't know how to manage the discussion. Okay, let's talk about that. it's very, very, very important to understand the why of the goal. So I didn't have to ask why is it important for you. So you can use the why only when you ask about the importance of the goals. You know, the why, the purpose. And she shared it. During the conversation. She said that financial freedom is very important, and she wanted to be proud of herself. This is a why.
It's also a great way to anchor the why in the person, like the coachee, so that they feel exactly why it's important. And the more they are clear about their goal and their why, the more they will be motivated.
Yes. And also, if you can, it's very important to ask them, okay, how will you feel when you reach this goal? It's also about anchoring your emotions and feeling proud now. It will motivate your coachee to reach this goal if they know how it's going to feel when they reach this goal. Okay, it's very, very important to spend time on the G. Don't rush to the next stage. Spend enough time on the G. Why? Because if you define very well the G, you have almost half of the solution in it.
So do not hesitate to even spend like 2-3 sessions just on the G. Huh? Maybe Géraldine, you can share your example
yes.
with the presence.
Yes, the demo we are doing now, it's a very simple demo for you to understand and for us to share. But I spent with one client 3 sessions on the G. I was hired by a company to help someone develop his executive presence. And what he understood by executive presence was totally different from what his manager understood and what the HR understood. So it was very interesting to dig into that. What does it mean for him? And how can he achieve it? So it took three sessions to just define what executive presence meant. But it was very useful sessions, and it was maybe the most he had so many breakthroughs during those sessions just by understanding what it meant to him having more leadership, more executive presence. Okay, partnership. So clearly, you're not, as a coach, you're not the one who leads. You have to listen and ask, and you do not need to be the expert. You don't need to know anything. You just need to be very present, active, and to ask, actively listening, and to ask the right questions at the right moment. Okay? So your skill as a coach is to shape a tangible result in whatever situation your clients bring to the session. So your role is to focus on helping your clients have a tangible result. Okay? And your role is also to remove any limits in your client's mind to generate more possibilities, more lateral possibilities. Okay. So should we go back, Lily, to our conversation?
I would love that. Thank you, Géraldine, for caring about me. Yes.
So we covered the goal. So the goal, Lily's goal, is to be a team leader in 2 years, right? So Lily, tell me, where are you now?
So I just joined that company 6 months ago. I just started 6 months ago. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. What are you missing now to be?
Yes, I feel I need a bit more experience, to become a team leader, a team manager. I've never managed a team. I have no experience also dealing with overseas clients. And the team I'm in right now is dealing with a lot of overseas clients. So I feel I need a bit more experience. Yeah.
Okay. So experience and exposure to overseas customers, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay, but I sense some hesitation. Is there anything that holds you back? What holds you back?
Yeah, the fact that I just joined, and also the fact that I feel I'm quite young. I feel very young to become a team leader. So I'm a bit scared to ask to be a manager. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're scared to be a manager. You feel young.
Yeah.
So how would you define a manager, a team leader, a good team leader?
Oh, that's a good question. So a good manager for me, the managers I've had in the past, they are the ones that have a good vision, very good at communicating their vision, that they are inspiring, that you want to go with them towards this vision, that they are hardworking and caring for others in their team that they are managing. Uh, and actually thinking about it, my first manager, she was like that, and I think she was my age too. So yeah, maybe I could explore a bit more that. And
Okay, great. So let's explore that.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing about your reality. So we'll just take a break, guys, and we're going to look at the R. So we covered the R now. We just covered the R. So the R is about your current reality, where you are now. You can't go anywhere if you don't know where you're starting from, right? So it's very important as a coach to really be curious about your client's reality. It's important to explore the situation to see if there's any barriers. So one of the barriers or limiting thoughts that Lily had was about being too young to be a manager. It's important to help your client increase self-awareness about what a good manager could be, for instance, and what does she have as well. And it's very important to focus on the who more than the what. Let me explain that. The who is about Lily. It's about her inner skills. It's about who she wants to who she is and who she wants to become, instead of focusing on the what, how you're going to reach that. Okay, what do you want? If you jump too fast on the options, the what, how you're going to reach that, instead of understanding the who she is and who she wants to become, you will miss a lot. Okay, so spend time on the G and the R.
And I feel in our everyday life, and also like as a junior coach, usually we go very, very fast on the G and the R, and we go straight to like the option and solution. Like we want to show results, we want to go to the option and to the results, but the key is really in those two steps. Huh?
Yeah. Okay, so this is about the R. Now, let's move to the O. So now, Lily, so let's go back to the demo, to the coaching conversation. So, Lily, what options do you have to reach your goal?
I think I could ask for like some training as a manager, maybe.
Okay, interesting. So training could be an option. What else?
Maybe what could I do? I could maybe, because I feel the coaching is quite important. So maybe I could coach some of my peers, some of my friends, and learn how to develop them.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And also try to coach some of the people in my team and see how they react, and
okay,
starting like softly, like into softly managing them, coaching them. Yeah.
All right, interesting. So we have three options.
Yeah.
Training, coaching your team, your friends, or coaching your team, your peers. Anything else you could think of?
I could maybe manage a small team, manage a small team on a small project, and ask, maybe talk to my manager and ask if she's okay for me to do that. The last thing I could think of would be like to spend time with the overseas department and having a bit more exposure with that. Yeah.
All right, that's great. Lots of options. Thank you, Lily, for sharing. So, guys, we stop. So this is the O part, the options. So we covered the G, we covered the R. Now we just cover the R. It's what could you do? It's very important that you explore all the possibilities. This one is a very short demo, but we can explore much more the possibility. So question can be imaginative to create breakthrough. You can always also identify potential obstacles. So we didn't spend time on that, but something that I would strongly encourage to do. So what are the potential obstacles that would prevent you from reaching your goal. All right, and you're not here to advise, you are here to help your client brainstorm. Okay, this is the O. Now, oopsie, sorry. Now let's move to the W. So, Lily, we discussed many different options. So, which one would you like to choose?
Okay, thinking about it, maybe I would talk to my manager to manage, to ask her if I can manage a team on a small project. That seems like a good solution to do, and start coaching, developing my coaching skills, I would say.
Okay, okay. So developing your coaching skill. Okay, that's great. All right. Sorry. And what would be the first step?
So the first step I could take for the coaching, I have a friend I can coach that I see quite often. I can start coaching her, asking her if she's okay for that.
Okay.
For my manager, I could talk to my manager also. Yeah.
All right. So coach your friend and talk to your manager. When would you like to do that?
For my manager, I have my weekly with her on Friday, so I can talk to her on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm seeing her on Zoom tomorrow, so I can ask her then if she's okay for me to coach her. Yeah.
Okay. Good. And do you know how can you be held accountable for these two actions?
I can ask a colleague of mine, like a colleague of mine that is quite engaged with me, so I can ask that colleague.
All right, that's very good. May I ask you, how motivated are you to reach?
So motivated, like I would say a 9 out of 10. Yeah.
All right, that's amazing. Well done. Okay, and we can follow up on that during our next session.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Geraldine.
Thanks, Lily. Okay, so this was a W. The W is the will or the way forward. It's the stage where you help your client define action, set accountability, and focus the energy on what will be done and by when. It's very important that you check in on the commitment level, how motivated your client is. And if it's below 8, then you need to go back to the GZR to check what's wrong, right? Okay, so this was a demo of the GROW model, a very simple demo. Now, let me ask you a question. I'm going to test whether you listen or not. What does GROW stand for? Sorry, let me launch a poll. Can you see the questions? Yeah.
Yes, we can see the questions.
Great, thanks. Okay, obviously, well, I'm going to spend, you all have the right answer. I'm glad. I'm glad you all, I really like the God rewards our work. Thanks, Lily, for this creative. So now, what do you need to do? So you need to stay flexible. When you do a GROW, when you use a GROW model, you need to stay flexible. You can move around the GROW sequence. It doesn't have to be linear. It can be circular, and you can go back and forth, right? You can revisit each step as necessary in any order. It's very important that you listen at a deeper level beyond the words, and that you let go of filters and perceptions. And you really, really need to focus on the coachee and the goal. And it's very important that at different steps, you reflect, summarize, clarify, and reframe. Okay? What you need to avoid. So you need to avoid leading the conversation. For instance, I could have told her, oh, you want to be a team leader in 2 years, but of course, I can tell you how to do that. So you need to network a lot, you need to be very visible, and you need to talk to different, to all your stakeholders. Okay, it worked for me. I was promoted in 6 months. Okay, so this is my perception because I'm a very extravert person and it worked for me. Will it work for Lily? Maybe not. Maybe she's shy. Maybe she doesn't want, she wants to take more time. So make sure you don't lead the conversation by sharing too early your views or by asking leading questions, because people won't feel empowered to do what they need to do to reach their goal. Okay? So you're not here to solve a problem, you are here to help your client to solve the problem. Don't rush into, don't focus too much on the result, be fully mindful. You will get results if you are mindful, if you are present, and if you're actively listening. You cannot follow a script. You cannot, it won't work. Just dance in the moment and go with the flow. You can't have a master plan. And do not ask questions with an answer in mind. We all do that all the time, and it doesn't work in coaching. Okay? Now, do we want to open the floor to some questions?
So if you have any question, you can write them on the chat. So at the bottom of the screen, we're going to take just 2-3 questions, and then we're going to move on to examples of questions, of powerful questions. So those are very important for you to write down, so you have like your toolbox of questions that you can ask.
Okay. Do we have any question? Feel free to ask.
We have also a Q&A question at the Q&A session at the end, so no worries. If you don't have any question now, we can move on. And
okay. It's not used to XC. Okay, Jay is asking, what do you do if your client is not used to seeing options? Very good question, Jay. And we're going to cover this one at the end of the webinar when we talk about being stuck. Most of the time, your client or you and yourself will be stuck at the option stage. So we're going to share some techniques later on. How many sessions do you suggest for grow? So a grow model can be used in one session. I usually, because you need to make sure it can be a very small goal. So for instance, for Lily, I ask her, what does she want to do? She wants to become a team leader. Obviously, we won't cover that in one session. So that's the reason why I ask, what do you want to achieve at the end of the conversation? And then I follow the growth. So at the end, she had what she wanted, meaning a plan and a way to become a team leader. Okay, but it can be, it depends, it really depends. There's no rule for that, but I use grow during each conversation, and then I also use grow, for instance, the one I mentioned earlier, the executive presence. So we spent 3 sessions on the G and the R, G, R, R, G, and then we moved on the O after. Okay. But there's no strict rules about that. It's really about you adjusting to your coachee. Mary is asking, how long lasts the coaching? How many sessions in average? Oh, this is a difficult question. It really depends. So I won't be able to answer this one now. How to help coachee in overcoming obstacles? Okay, from Apia. How to help coachee in overcoming obstacles. That's a very good one. And I invite you to join our webinar next week. It's about how can you help your client overcome limiting beliefs. I won't be able to cover that today. It's a very, very big topic, but please join us next week. We will cover that in depth. Okay. But a great way is to challenge their assumptions. If they see obstacles, try to understand what are the obstacles, try to challenge the assumptions, and try to see, to create new possibilities.
We did it earlier when I say I'm too young, I can't be a manager. So she said, okay, what does it mean to be a good manager? You know, so you try to find new perspectives.
Yes. Okay. Okay, thanks. I have a new one. Okay, so we're gonna move to our next topic, which is self-coaching. So what you're gonna do, guys, now, you're gonna coach yourself with a bro. So we have a list of questions, and I'm gonna ask you to take a pen and paper again, and you're gonna coach yourself. I'm gonna just ask questions. I'm not gonna ask coach you because obviously I can't see the answers.
You have to think of one topic where you want to be coached and think about it. Yeah.
Think about something that's important for you. It can be very simple one or a big one, up to you, okay? It's very important that as a coach, you get coached because you can't take any deeper someone than you have gone yourself.
So for example, for me, I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship. So each time I would see someone, I say, oh, you don't know it, but you need to be an entrepreneur. So because you always put your own subjectivity into the coaching, you have many, many unconscious biases. And so to remove those, you have to be coached. So at least you know what is your own subjectivity. I know my subjectivity is that I love too much entrepreneurship, and I'm asking everyone to be too. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start. What is the very first step? So the very first step is a goal. So can you please write down what would you like to achieve? What is your goal? So it can be, oh, I want to be a better coach. Okay. Or I want to be able to create a coaching program, for instance. Make sure it's specific. Be a better coach is not specific enough, right? So you need to make sure I want to be a better coach. What does it mean? It means I will have more expertise, I will have more clients, and all my clients will be very happy with their coaching. So great feedback. So maybe in 6 months, I want to have 10 clients and positive feedback, 8 out of 10. Okay, or I want to create a coaching program. Let's take an easy example. So I'm going to leave you 1 minute to think about one goal that is close to your heart. It can be, yeah, I want to create a coaching program. I want to create a coaching program in 2 weeks on wellness coaching.
So it can be a personal goal, professional goal, can be anything. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, so write it down. Now, what does success look like? So let's take the example of I want to create a coaching program in 2 weeks. So success is in 2 weeks, I will have a great coaching program designed. I will have that on a PowerPoint so I can share that with my client. And I will feel very proud of this coaching program. What about you? What does success look like? If you want to be a better coach, it can be, okay, and in 6 months, the success is going to be, I will have 10 clients, they will be all very happy, they will refer me to many people. And yeah, this is my success. How will you know you've reached your goal? So make it specific, measurable. How will you know? And how will you feel as well? How will you think? How will you behave differently? Try to think about, once you succeed, how will you know? If I want to create a coaching program, I will know because I will have this coaching program and I will feel very proud and I will share it with my clients and my prospects. And so I will get feedback from them and they will be very impressed by the coaching program. So this is what success looks like and how I will know it. Now, what would you like to have after answering this set of questions? So if we go back to Lily's example, at the end of the conversation, she didn't want to be a team leader. She wanted to have a plan to be a team leader. So what do you want? Do you want to have a plan to be able to create this coaching program of yours in different steps? Do you want to just have some options? What do you want? Can you write it down? When are you going to achieve it? Is it in 1 week? Is it in 6 months? Is it in a year? Be specific about the timing. And always ask your clients when. Now, what are the benefits for you in achieving this goal? How will you benefit? So for me, if I get a coaching program in 2 weeks, then I will be able to have more clients because they will find it very interesting to have a clear structure framework to coach them. So the benefits for me are more clients and being a better coach as well. What are the benefits for you for your goal? Think about it. How will you benefit? Now, who else will benefit? Is there anyone else? Okay. Is it my client, for instance? Now, what it will be like if you achieve your goal. So this we cover already. What will you see, hear, and feel? Okay. How will someone else know when you got there? Write it down. So this is a G. I guess you have something compelling and exciting now. So let's move to the why. Do you know why you want to reach a goal? It's very important that you understand, you make sure your goals are SMART first, and you know your real objective, and you understand your why. You remember maybe this picture? So this is you, this is a little kid is you. Why would you want to reach this goal? What are the reasons? What motivates you? Okay, think about it and you can ask yourself 3 why. So for instance, Lily was mentioning she wants to be a team leader because it will help her be financially independent. And as a woman, it's very important for her.
Okay, so let's do it now. So you have your goal, your first goal, goal number 1. So why is it important for you to achieve this goal, the first goal? Okay, so write it down. Why is it important? Now you have your why. So go deeper. So why is this why important? So the example, like I want to be a manager, I want to be a team leader. Why? Because I want independent freedom, like financial freedom. Why is it important to have financial freedom? So go one why deeper, okay? And then do it again, another why. Why this one, why financial freedom is important? Because then I can live anywhere I want, I don't have to work, I can work from everywhere I want. Why is this important for you? And so go deeper. So that's just an example. It's difficult to do that exactly in a coaching session, like why, but it's more about understanding that it's important as a coach to go quite deep, understanding the deep reasons.
Okay. Make sure your goals are SMART, so we covered that already. Now let's move to the reality. Let me ask you some questions. So what is happening now? Where are you now? Okay, so let's go back to my example. I want to create a coaching program. So now I have nothing. I don't have any program, but I know some great tools. So I might be able to use some tools and techniques to build this coaching program. So what action have you taken so far? I didn't take many actions. I didn't do much. I just looked at many different tools and programs and see how I can get inspired, but I didn't do anything. I didn't create it. I didn't create a program yet. What is getting in the way? What is holding you back? Please answer this one. It's a very important one. I guess it's more a question of priority. I always procrastinate this one because I feel it's a very important one, but it's not urgent. So that's the reason it's more procrastination. What about you? What is getting in your way? What is holding you back? You can give concrete example of this problem. So for instance, last week I wanted to design the coaching program and then I had to prepare a webinar, so I was not able to do that. Something more urgent came. Okay, now you can challenge the obstacles. So this is a great way to challenge the obstacles. How do you know that this is accurate? Someone asked about how you can challenge the obstacles. How have you verified? Or would you verify? Okay. This is your reality. Now let's move to the options. So what are your options to reach your goal? Can you write some of them, 2, 3 options? Maybe more? And at this stage, don't worry about whether they are realistic or not. It's okay. Just write anything. It's a brainstorming. What else? Any other options? Be creative. If your best friend would be in your situation, what would it do? Change perspective. Okay. What are the obstacles? Is there any obstacles that might prevent you from reaching your goal? You can list the obstacles as well. Okay. Let's move on. Now let's look at, we can't cover everything today, but please take the time later on if you don't have enough time now to do it, to take the time to answer all the questions.
And we'll give an ebook, not today, but in a few days with all the powerful questions. So you'll have access to the ebook yeah, with a list of questions.
Okay, let's move to the last step, way forward. So now you have your goal, you know where you are, your starting point, and you have some options and you know some obstacles. So what are you gonna do? Which options will you take? Okay, which option is great. It's very important to understand the option, but it's very, maybe more important question is what concrete step can you take now? Okay, it will become more real and it will increase your accountability and commitment to do it now. What steps come after? Write it down. Now you have maybe 1 or 2 obstacles. Do you have any idea how will you overcome your obstacles? Okay, guys. I'm sure you have a plan now. So let me ask you, we're going to do, a poll. What is your level of commitment to achieve this goal? Can you please answer the poll? Is it 1 to 4, 4 to 7, 7 to 9? Do we have, we have a 10. Yes, well done. Some people are still not sure about their goal, 4 to 7. Okay, good. Great, guys. So I'm going to end the poll and share the results. So most of you are pretty motivated. 7 to 9 in terms of motivation. Well done. 10, I'm sure you're going to do this goal. You're going to reach this goal very soon. You're totally determined to do that. 4 to 7, you might spend more time on your goal and see the obstacle and understand the why of your goal. And maybe the goal is not the right one. So you need to spend time on your goal. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay. Well done, guys. So you have a goal and you are pretty motivated, most of you. So I hope you're gonna reach it. All the best in your journey. So now let's look at how to structure a coaching session. Lily, you want to take the lead?
Okay, so this is like a coaching session, and we say the Grow model, you can use it during a coaching session, every conversation. So the first step is to empty your cup. Okay, so make sure you empty your cup. Let the coachee empty his cup, so they have to vent, they are, so that they have time to do that. The second step is to follow up on the action point from the previous session. So, okay, last time we discussed that, those were the action points. Where are you on that? So make sure you follow up. There's a bit of accountability. Objective, okay, what are the objectives for this session? Okay, what do you want to focus on today? And that could be a bit different from what they wanted to focus on the last time. They could have a sudden topic like, oh, I need to have this conversation tonight. Can you help me with that? So what would you want to discuss today? Success metrics. What would be a good outcome? Okay, what would be a good outcome of this session? How could we make sure we arrive there? Why is it important? The why. Huh? Why is it important that you achieve that goal? So that's for the G. Reality. Okay, you go to the reality, what we say. So that would be the R of the grow, and then the options. Okay, actions. So the W, that need to be smart and accountable, and then circle back. Then you circle back. Okay, we discussed that, and those. Make sure you circle back on what has been discussed, the action points, so that you can follow up on the next time. And last but not least, ask for feedback. So at the end of the session, ask for feedback. So how did you feel about that session with us? Like what were the breakthroughs, any breakthroughs? How did the session go? What was useful or not for you? And you'll see it can be quite surprising sometimes what they say. Yeah. So here you have like the G, the R, the O, and the W. Huh?
Yes. And I think in the middle, circle back at the end is very important. You can say, okay, at the beginning of the session, you mentioned that you want to be a team leader in 2 years. And we discussed that you want to have a plan by the end of the session. Now we are reaching the end of the session. Are you happy with the outcome of the session? It's very important that you circle back. Okay, if in the middle of the session, and it happens very often, the goal is still unclear or it has changed, it's very important that in the middle of the session you check in. What is your goal? What do you want? Do you want to change your goal? Because I'm hearing different objectives now. So make sure that, or you can just go back, you ask what they want to do. But it's very important if you feel that there are different goals to narrow them and just to make sure that you are aligned on what they want to achieve. Okay. And yeah, you can see goal, reality, options, and will at the top of the. So this is an example on how you can structure a session. You need to remain agile and flexible with that, right? It's not. This is as a coach. Your level of emotional intelligence, you need to use your emotional intelligence to be flexible and agile. Okay, now let's move to what if I get stuck? And hopefully we'll answer one of your questions. So why do you get stuck? I'm gonna ask you the question.
So as a coach, when you're coaching someone, why do you get stuck? Like what makes you feel that you're getting stuck? Have you ever been stuck in a coaching discussion where you don't know where to go?
Have you ever been stuck? We all have been stuck. If you have not been stuck, you have not practiced enough. Okay, so most of you guys, I'm going to stop because it's really kind of most of you. Some have not been stuck, so that's great. But I think it happens to everyone. Huh? So don't worry if you get stuck. That's normal. Okay. So what would you do when you get stuck? So the first question to ask is, why do I get stuck? Right? So why do I get stuck? Why do we get stuck in the conversation? The first answer might be, as a coach, you're not fully present. You're focusing way too much on the solution, on the next question, and you're not mindful. You're not here. Maybe you're trying too hard as well, trying too hard to find the solution, to find a good question. Another reason could be that you go too fast. Instead, you go too fast, GR, and then you focus on the O. And most of the time, if you're stuck on the O, it's because you didn't explore the G and the R enough. Also because you might self-doubt about your ability, your capacity as a coach. Are you a good coach? Oh my gosh, I'm not a good coach. And then your brain is polluted with these negative thoughts and you're not able to focus on the conversation.
You think, oh, I need to create value. I'm not experienced enough. It's too difficult. You have this monkey brain that's talking to you, and a lot of self-doubt, like, oh, how can I create value? And that's connected.
And also, what can I ask? So what could you do when you get stuck? So first of all, it's be mindful. Just try to focus on the present and to listen with your eyes, but also your ears and your heart. Everything. It's not only the ears, it's also the eyes. Look at the body language and be curious. Listen to the emotions, to the keywords, to the patterns. Listen for omissions, additions, generalization. It's very important. Distortion, mind reading, bounded thinking, anything. Listen for values, strengths, belief, alignment, and motivation. Not only for the story, just try to read between the lines.
If someone uses a keyword like, they think I'm a bitch, you know, like something quite striking, then this keyword, make sure you keep it in mind and you come back to it. And that's quite important that you look at those keywords. Huh? And we talked about generalization, so we're going to cover that. Usually generalization are a sign of limiting belief. So, oh, I'm too young, everybody thinks that, I will never be able to, so we'll go through that.
So what the question you can ask when your client is stuck or you're stuck is, one question that I really like is you ask, what question would you like me to ask? It is a very powerful one. Or what is the real challenge here for you? What do you need to be? Or you can just, okay, we are in the middle of the session. Can you tell me what have you learned so far from this discussion? Just look at the past. On what is limiting you from your goal, or just what's on your mind. Okay, so you can ask questions. What else can you do? You can also share your intuition. If you feel that this person has a limiting belief but she's not realizing, maybe you can share it, but be careful. Huh? You have to share it in a very diplomatic way. So you can say, I have a sense that this prevents you from moving forward. Or can I check something with you? Or can I share my intuition? Or I wonder if it's okay to share your intuition. You can also do a role reversal in order to shift the perspective. So this is the one I did, like if someone is stuck, you can ask, okay, what would your best friend do in this kind of situation? So you're not thinking about yourself, but you're just shifting your perspective. It can help. Or do a role reversal. You can do journaling and say, okay, let's pause. I can feel that we are not progressing now. Can we just pause and do a journaling exercise? Maybe you can write down, I don't know, anything that your thoughts at the moment, how you feel, or anything. And it can be a great way to change your perspective. You can use a tool as well. You can use the Wheel of Life or the life map or any tool. You can say, okay, let's pause, and I suggest that we can use this tool. I think it can help you move forward. So let's just wrap up. So what are the benefits of powerful questions? Powerful question is great because it invokes discovery. It will help your coaches find their own solution. If you combine powerful questions with a grow model, then you have the magic formula to have now, but really, to help your clients and create a meaningful conversation. It will also help you increase your confidence as a coach because you know you have these two great tools, the powerful questions. So make sure you have a list of powerful questions, and then they will come to your mind very easily the more you practice. And use a grow model if you feel lost. So it's a great way to structure your coaching conversation. So your coaching conversation will be much more productive and you will be able to focus on your coaching magic. Instead of worrying about which question to ask, what should I do now, what is next, you will be able to naturally be fully present, to listen very actively, and to ask the right question at the right moment. So those are the benefits. Now, we like to challenge you, you know, at the end of a coaching conversation, we want people to commit to do something. This is the same here. We want you to commit to have a grow discussion today with someone. It can be your spouse, it can be your best friend, it can be your mom, anyone, or your colleague. If you, as a manager, it's an amazing tool. So please use it again and again. Try, if you're a manager, have a grow conversation with one of your employees. You will see how powerful it is. So today, I want you to commit to have a grow conversation with someone. This is our challenge. We would like to communicate about the peer coaching. So we have launched a great network of coach to be. If you want to join it, let us know. The idea is that you can practice with fellow coaches for free. There's no commitment, nothing. Our next webinars, Lily, you want to introduce them?
Yes, so the next one is on limiting belief, so that we touched on a bit. I'm too young, I will never, nobody thinks I'm good enough, like all my managers are the worst, you know, so all those limiting that you may have, that your coachee may have, how do you uncover them? And how do you break those limiting beliefs? So that's a very, very important topic. We'll have also on team dynamics, out strategies to improve team dynamics. We've been asked also how to use the toolbox. So the toolbox you have access to. So we'll do a webinar on how to use it to the best of its capabilities. And then the NLP, so neuro-linguistic programming, the techniques. So we'll go through 6 techniques and to help you how to increase your coaching impact through those 6 techniques. So you see it's very powerful. So if you want to register, go mastercoach.com/webinars. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we received lots of questions about our next certification. So we're on time, 12:30. It's like, wow, well done. For once. For those who are interested by our next training, who start next week, you can scan this QR code, so you will get the brochure. But if you have any questions now, please feel free to ask. We are here, we're gonna stay for 10 more minutes with you guys. So feel free to ask any question. Let's play the video. Bettina, if you're around, you can see yourself. So this is, this was Bettina and Jason from, we have a batch, a current training. So we are doing module 2 tomorrow. And this exercise you saw was about trust. As a coach, it's very important to establish trust with your coachee. And this was a great way to test people's trust. Are we good?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We hope you. Very good. And anyway, feel free to send us a WhatsApp, email if you have a question you want to, or if you need to schedule a call, if you want to discuss any topic, we're happy to do so. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.